Somali women are facing very difficult job in this country. Most of them, they are by themselves. Their husbands are not here, or they are abroad, or they've been divorced with 6 children or more, 8 children. They're concentrating their education, feeding them, looking after them. So they don't have a time them to study, but I will encourage them to go to evening classes or just morning class, 2 hours a week and 2 hours a day to improve their English language. Then at least try to understand that letter is coming through the letterbox. What it is? Is it advertisement? Is it housing? Is it welfare benefit? Then they will be able to go and seek advice accordingly. That is the only thing I will encourage. And also, if we do not get enough funding, such places like this who have been here for over 20 years, might close and disappear. And that burden we are putting in our shelves in hiring a Somali community will go to the local authority, obviously. So they have to provide for them.
You said that burden. Could you elaborate?
The burden is that because we work long hours with less pay, but if these people do not access hiring a Somali community, they will go social services. Social services do not have Somali speaking, as I said before. They will have to hire an interpreter, which is going to cost them more. And the thing is that even that interpreter might not tell them the full story of the clients came to the office, since they are not advice workers and they are not advocates.
So actually, in a way, you're saying that you're saving money and this is a cost effective because you guys know about the Somali culture, know about the Somali community, and also people like yourself, you've been educated in the UK, you know the system. So you're more or less the best person to act as the middle person.
Yeah, we will train the house, we know housing laws, house regulations, welfare benefit law regulations, immigration regulations. So we are more or less effective advice workers, and what we do, as you said, is cost effective, and the problem is going to be greater, and there will be a lot of homelessness, a lot of people who are in poverty, and that will create, and then local authorities have to deal with them.
If I could end with this question, actually this is very interesting. What do you think that the main challenges that Somali children are having in the UK, and how could you as a person and as an organization could break that circle of poverty? We were discussing earlier that circle of poverty is parents come, they don't speak much English, their children go to school, they don't speak much English, they don't get any help with the homeworks, so that circle continue. Very few people would be able to make it on their own, with no role model, with no help from school, with nothing.
I think the only way you can break them is centers like this to exist, because we have got after school and weekend classes, Saturday, Sunday.
What do you teach in them?
They teach maths and English from A level to year 2. They also teach Somali. So such places, if we got decent funding, we will recruit Somali-speaking teachers, because there are now Somali-speaking teachers in local schools. Normal, they are in the mainstream. Those kind of people who do understand the culture of the Somalis, understand the culture of this country, because they are educated here themselves and they came by the age of 10, now they are 20s and 30s. Those are kind of people that we need to have integrated to the youth, to educate them, to tell them, and to be mentoring for them as well. Because if they came here with 10 years old or 12 years old and they achieve that kind of education and integrate into the mainstream society, imagine the child who was born here, the opportunity they have if they get the right service, the right assistance, and the right mentoring.
How do you think, Mr. Mohammed, that the Somali educated people in the UK could help the Somali in Somalia? Because our focus is to actually interrelate the problems that we have here to the problems that we have back home. How could you think that people who, if they get the right help here, they could help to rebuild their homeland? We know that in London there are more or less more than 100,000 or 90,000 Somali people.
I am the kind of person who doesn't agree. This is the problem here. We are refugees. We came here in the 80s, 90s. We did not speak English. We have different religions, different ethnicity background. Really, we were in disadvantaged position when we came here. I do believe there's a lot of hard work to be done in this country. I want to forget about a couple of minutes back home. The main important thing was that let's save our youth and the children out of UK prisons and then achieve something good for themselves. Automatically, they will take the challenge. When you do something good to yourself, then you think what's the next chapter, and then that comes to it. But if you're struggling yourself here, and the mothers are struggling, and the children are struggling, and the fathers are struggling because this society is not patriarchal society, and they do not need to share their ideas with their wives or with the children or with the host nation. It's very difficult. So what we main aim is here is just to settle here first, to make most of it, and then try to transfer to them.
Could you tell us about the Somali community in general in London and the main challenges? You did explain earlier, but if you could categorize the challenges that